So, who would like to start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop. So what's our plan? Hey. Great.
Superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. I have no intention to leave my work unfinished.
The world's upside down right now.
Where do we start?
That little girl kick your ass.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Are you?
Just blink. Sweet Jesus. I mean, how old are you?
Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be my new Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer. They finally dropped the full trailer, so we'll explain what's going on, all the Easter eggs, and the big storylines that they're covering during the series, especially because so much crazy stuff just happened on WandaVision. So I will also explain some of the connections between WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, even though they're not quite as connected as some of the other series. I'll be doing videos for all the episodes, so be sure to subscribe to get all those. It'll be starting March 19th. They said the premiere date. It'll air weekly just like WandaVision. But just going through this shot by shot, I'll talk about Easter eggs as we go along. So obviously they start with that counseling session. They have the joke about their relationship. They have that funny rivalry, but they're also going to be pretty good friends by the end of this. Like, it's a joking rivalry, but it's not quite the same type of friendship that both of them have with Captain America. They have that same scene of them jumping out the back of the plane, the joke about Falcon not having a plan. What's your plan? No plan. Great. Bucky getting really pissed off. What pisses you off about him? All the night shots of this really cool, crazy-looking city are from Madripoor, big X-Men location in the comics. Obviously, we just got all the X-Men big WTF moments on WandaVision, so I will say careful for spoilers for what just happened on WandaVision if you haven't been watching that series. We just got Evan Peters' Quicksilver from the Fox Marvel Universe crossing over, and even though it seems like there's more to his character than meets the eye, like it's not genuinely just Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men films, it's going to be something else too. They're finally integrating Fox X-Men characters into the MCU. We're finally seeing mutants and X-Men show up. So Madripoor is just the next big step on the road to that. But the other big X-Men Easter eggs that are happening during Falcon and Winter Soldier are basically through the Weapons Plus program, which leads up to the Weapon 10, Weapon X program, eventually the new version of Wolverine. One of the major storylines during Falcon and Winter Soldier is supposed to be them discovering that someone has resurrected the super soldier serum program and is creating new super soldiers, or attempting to. Like Baron Zemo has the dialogue in the trailer where he says, "Superheroes should not be allowed to exist. I can't leave my work unfinished." We get the really cool teaser of his comic book costume with the purple mask. We've already seen pictures of it in earlier teasers. But the mission that he's talking about, leaving his work unfinished, is from Captain America Civil War. He was trying to tear apart the Avengers during that, but that was just the beginning of it. Like he says, superheroes should not be allowed to exist. And someone, probably Thunderbolt Ross, maybe somebody else working with him, are trying to resurrect the super soldier serum program to create a whole bunch of government-sponsored or government-controlled superheroes. That's more of a Thunderbolts storyline thing too, which is one of the other subplots during this. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Just like on WandaVision, there's so many different things going on, even though sometimes you only see the surface level stuff in the first couple of episodes. The way they explain it, this picks up pretty much right after the events of Avengers Endgame, which is about where WandaVision picks up to. WandaVision is about 3 weeks after Avengers Endgame. This will probably be happening within a similar time span, because originally Falcon and Winter Soldier was meant to be the first Marvel Disney Plus series to premiere, but then they switched the order and put WandaVision first. You see them trying to exist with the modern military-industrial complex in the United States. Like, how is everybody dealing with this on a military level? Like, people like Thunderbolt Ross, people in control of the military, how have they changed things after the events of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame? You have to imagine that they would double down hardcore, like we have threats to deal with. The whole thing with WandaVision and S.W.O.R.D. is that they went for more of a S.H.I.E.L.D. version of NASA, mostly just doing a lot of space missions, exploration, observing things, trying to protect the Earth from extraterrestrial threats, now SWORD is Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Division, meaning that they're all about developing sentient weapons, like exploiting people like vision, artificial intelligence, really advanced weapons to protect from what they perceive as really dangerous threats from outer space, people like Thanos showing up again. That gets into the Celestials, the Eternals movie, characters like Galactus through the Fantastic Four movies. Obviously, there are really dangerous threats out there. But then you see Falcon picking up Captain America's shield. This looks like some sort of memorial. He's wearing a special suit like he wouldn't normally be wearing, so this is probably some ceremony for Captain America. Then you see a slightly different version of him training with the shield at what looks like maybe his family's home with Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier seems like he catches the shield after he throws it, like he's trying to teach Falcon how to wield it. There was the funny Spider-Man joke during Captain America Civil War where he's joking about Captain America's shield, saying, "The rumor is that doesn't obey the laws of physics." Then they have the scene of them accepting their mission to go after Baron Zemo, because he is the very obvious surface-level threat. And you also have the Flag Smasher villains. It sounds like instead of being a character like he is in the comics, it's actually the name of an organization. Like Falcon makes fun of Winter Soldier, "Oh, that little girl just beat your ass." She is part of the Flag Smasher organization, the people with those masks with the hands on them. The whole thing in the comics is the Flag Smasher character was all about destroying, tearing down world governments as a way to bring people together. So Baron Zemo might be working through that organization, but Baron Zemo is being pitched as the main villain of the series, although it'll probably be a little more complicated than that. More of Falcon in his brand new costume with his new set of wings using all kinds of trick shots. There are probably multiple versions of the costume that he'll have during the series. There have been all kinds of toys that have shown him in a more Captain America looking version of his costume, just like they did during the comics. Both Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie have been talking about how they'll try to explain over the course of the series who will eventually become the next version of Captain America. I think we can all assume that it's going to be Falcon. That's kind of the way they pitched the series when they first announced it. It's just the way it's all going to play out is going to be more like a Batman battle for the cowl situation, because you have a bunch of different versions of Captain America from the comics, people who have wielded the shield at one point, worn the mantle. Like at one point, Bucky was a version of Captain America in the comics. At one point, Falcon was. Then you have the US Agent version of Captain America that we see during the trailer footage. We get a little bit more footage with him. US Agent is just meant to be the more hardcore version of Captain America, who's much quicker to use guns, much quicker to kill people, use lethal force in a way that Captain America tried to not kill people when he didn't have to. He's like Thunderbolt Ross's puppet that he gives the shield to. He wants a Captain America that he can control now because he had a big contentious relationship with the Steve Rogers Captain America. And it's all leading up to him developing the Thunderbolts program. I think we'll also see some Easter eggs for that during the Black Widow movie. We finally see some Sharon Carter footage with her showing up surprising both of them at gunpoint, then kicking around a couple of villains, so it does seem like she'll actually get some action scenes during this, much bigger than what she got during Captain America Civil War. We got to see her throw down a little bit, but Winter Soldier pretty much mopped the floor with everyone in that scene. Then they go on the big joke of their rivalry and them having the staring contest, with the counselor saying, "How old are you guys really?" being a bit of an inside joke about Bucky because he's over 100 years old, just like Captain America. Although, after Avengers Endgame, because of all the time travel and extra years he put on, Steve Rogers' Captain America is now much, much older than Bucky. I know a lot of people are also asking, because they're bringing back the Super Soldier Serum program, the Weapons Plus program during Falcon and Winter Soldier, does that mean that Falcon will also get the Super Soldier Serum at some point? It's always possible. I haven't seen any rumors about that. But in the comics, he doesn't get it. He's just regular Falcon in a brand new costume with Captain America's shield using the Captain America name, although most people still refer to him as Falcon. I know there have been a bunch of rumors about Chris Evans coming back to reprise his role as Steve Rogers. They haven't said exactly what that would look like, and I'm not expecting a ton of that during Falcon and Winter Soldier. Obviously, the series is a very Captain America-inspired series, so there'll be a lot of Easter eggs and references to the Captain America movies, and they did say that during the series, they're going to be bringing back a bunch of Marvel Phase 1 deep-cut characters and introducing a bunch of new lore from the Captain America comics. Anthony Mackie also talked about how they're going to deal with the complex history behind the idea of Captain America and super soldiers in the MCU's history. I think what he's talking about is the Isaiah Bradley character being on the series. So obviously in present day, he's a really old character, just like old man Steve Rogers' Captain America. But the whole idea is they used him and his black regiment in the army as test subjects for the super soldier serum when they were perfecting it for the Steve Rogers Captain America. So even though Steve Rogers' Cap is billed as the first version of Captain America, Isaiah Bradley was also kind of a version of Captain America before him. But you wouldn't know it because the military, at least within the context of the MCU, suppressed all that information, but it is based on a lot of real-life history. Like a long time ago, the US military really did experiment on black regiments. So they'll have some way of weaving that into the MCU story, like you'll see the true history of the Captain America name, not just including the Steve Rogers history as Captain America. The whole thing with the Thunderbolts, though, is they've already announced a lot of Thunderbolts characters or potential for Thunderbolts across the new Disney Plus shows. Like the Abomination would be a great Thunderbolts character. He's coming back during the She-Hulk series, just like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is going to show up during that as well. Like Hulk versus Abomination rematch. Pretty much any big Marvel villain or supervillain that's been locked up and you haven't seen since, say, like Marvel Phase 1 or Marvel Phase 2 and hasn't been confirmed dead is locked up in the raft by Thunderbolt Ross. If you're not a big comic book reader, the Thunderbolts is basically like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. Before the Black Widow movie had been delayed a billion times, hopefully it still comes out in May, and there aren't any big issues with that, but it could wind up getting delayed to the summer. There were a lot of us that believed that because there was so much Thunderbolt Ross during that, and he looked so weird, that we would see Easter eggs at least for him setting up the Thunderbolts and for Red Hulk Thunderbolt Ross. Right now, it's kind of hard to tell which major comic book twist they're going to save for the movies and what they're going to do in the Disney Plus series because they just had such a huge X-Men twist on WandaVision. That is a seismic change in the MCU right now. So what'll happen is they'll start dropping more footage for Falcon and Winter Soldier as we get closer to the WandaVision finale, but my WandaVision episode 6 video with Evan Peters, a whole bunch more Quicksilver stuff going on, will post next Friday. I'll be doing videos for a couple of the other big Super Bowl trailers as well in the next couple of days, so I'll try to get through those as fast as possible, but leave all your video requests and big questions in the comments below, and all your predictions for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Congratulations, M. Aeon, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Everyone click here for my brand new WandaVision Episode 6 trailer video, and click here for my full WandaVision Episode 5 video with an explanation on what's going on with Quicksilver. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.